welcome to a great day here on the Jet Set. We've got lots planned today. Coming up, friend of the show, Lisa Niver, is back to share how she's continuing to explore as she starts her 60 before 60 adventure.
But first, we're spotlighting an unusual destination that should be on your travel radar.
And I'm talking with Mariela Maldonado about how she's helping people connect with others while traveling. All this and more is about to take off right here on the Jet Set.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to travel, food, fitness, and everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Buckle up because we're driving into travel news on Here's This. Industry experts are sounding the alarm over a proposed policy that could make the United States a much harder sell for international visitors. Now, a new survey from the World Travel and Tourism Council found that 1 in 3 international travelers would be less likely to visit the United States if they were required to hand over their social media account information as part of the visa waiver program. Now, that potential drop-off could translate into about $15.7 billion in lost visitor spending and as many as 4.7 million fewer international arrivals, representing a 23% decline from ESTA-eligible countries in 2026 alone. Now, the proposed rule posted by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection would require travelers from more than 40 countries, including the UK, Australia, Japan, and Germany, to submit 5 years of social media history when applying for travel authorization. Phone numbers, email addresses going back a decade, and contact information for close family members would also be required. Officials have said privately that the CBP would not review every applicant's post or penalize anyone for political speech. Okay. But for many travelers, the ask itself is already a deal breaker.
This is the most ridiculous thing I have heard.
I mean, so...
This is so ridiculous. First of all, you can just erase your account, get a new one. Also, who are these people who are gonna take your social media account and be like, and is this like, oh, you said something bad, like you can't come in?
Right, and so like they're saying that political speech won't be, viewed negatively, but like, then what else are they looking for? So what's the point of it? Now, there was a minute where they said, and I think they still can, that they could take your cell phone to search your cell phone if they wanted to when you came into the country if you're not a citizen. So people were just clearing their phones, clearing all the data so the phone was empty when they came in. So like you said, the same thing you could do with your social media accounts. And who's to say that it's a social media account that's even yours?
Exactly. This is a waste of time and money. This is making me very upset.
I mean, do you think the United States is risking its reputation overall as a welcoming destination when doing this?
Well, I think people hopefully see the whole beauty of America and not this one ridiculous rule. This is a absolutely ridiculous policy that's going to waste time and money, and I don't understand any of this. So,
well, I think you're going to start to see people like go other places. I mean, rather than coming here, you're going to see them go to Paris or Budapest or somewhere like that rather than plan their trip to the US just because it's so much of a hassle.
But can you imagine the line like, okay, you've got to look at your phone before you can come into America? This just doesn't make sense.
And it's funny because so many people in the US were worried about the UK and the European Union rolling out their new entry policies, and I had to go through it when I went to Spain. It took 15 minutes. You have to file your passport and all that stuff, but once it's done, you never have to do it again. This, I feel like they're gonna have to keep reviewing your social media.
This is just, it's not a good idea.
Okay, so it sounds like a steal. A hotel room steps from Piccadilly Circus in the heart of one of the world's most expensive cities for just $40 a night.
What?
But what's the catch? Well, you won't exactly be stretching out. The stay comes in the form of a capsule, a coffin-sized sleeping pod that is one of nearly 1,000 inside of what is now the world's largest capsule hotel. Whether that sounds like a fun, budget-savvy adventure or a waking nightmare depends entirely about how you feel about sleeping in tight spaces. I don't know how you would feel about that.
I've seen this in other countries.
Yes.
I feel like they do this maybe in Japan, and it's a lot for like if you're going to a hostel and you just want to just have a place for your bags and you're young and you can be bendy. I think.
So you're saying you wouldn't do this? For $40 a night in Piccadilly Circus?
No, we've met, right? No.
I don't know if I could do it.
Plus, also, like, a lot of people get really claustrophobic.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I think, would do this because a lot of people do this around the world. I've seen the pictures, and there's like a long hallway, and it's almost like kind of like train bunks.
Yeah.
Like that. But it's weird because like it's almost like, you know, when you're on a tour bus and they have like the bunks and you just are like in.
I feel like it would look like a morgue.
It would be freaky.
Like you would feel like you're.
Yeah.
What was the movie? Death Becomes Her, where like she's knocking to get out. Like I feel like that would be like, hello,
It would be a little
I'm
freaky.
actually alive in here.
Yeah, but also like the privacy thing for me, no. But I can understand how some people, especially like, you know, the kids, they're out backpacking, they want to tour around. I can see them doing this.
The kids.
The kids.
So if when Samantha's older, she's like, Mom,
No.
I'm gonna stay in a capsule hotel. You're gonna say what?
I'm gonna let her, hopefully by that time, she'll be smart enough to make her own decisions.
All right, we'll find out. Right back with more of the Jet Set.
If your idea of a perfect trip involves wide open skies, ancient geology, and the genuine feeling that you've stumbled somewhere most people don't know exists, then I have the destination for you this week. For this week's Destination Spotlight, we're sending you to the Alvord Desert in southeastern Oregon. I've never been to Oregon. Isn't that weird?
Never been to Oregon?
I know.
Okay, we gotta change that. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oregon? Like Nikki said, what? You're picturing rain, ferns, coffee shops, but the Alvord Desert is another Oregon entirely. It sits on the eastern side of the Cascade Mountains in the rain shadow, and it's bone dry, flat, and absolutely otherworldly. Now, this is a place where you can drive your car out onto the cracked white playa that stretches for miles and feel like you've landed on another planet.
The playa itself is about 7 miles long and 3 miles wide, and when it's dry, it's one of the few places in North America where you can generally stand somewhere with nothing, and I mean nothing, obstructing your view in any direction. Stargazing here is off the charts. You're hours from any city light, and the Milky Way on a clear night is the kind of thing that makes you want to call everyone you know and tell them to drop what they're doing and come and meet you on the playa.
I feel like nothing obstructs your view. You're so tall.
We've got to take a quick break. We got lots more of the Jet Set coming up in just 60 seconds. I'm going to find my way to Oregon.
You're just gonna disappear there. Like, where's Nikki? We don't know.
Stargazing. Welcome back to Crew Confidential, the segment where we go behind the curtain on everything airlines don't exactly advertise. And I've got Bobby here, former flight attendant, industry veteran, and my personal decoder savior for all things aviation. Okay, we've got a stack of questions from viewers today, and some of these, Bobby, are really good. Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
Okay, question number one. A viewer asked, what made you want to become a flight attendant?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was actually by accident. Oh, you're just throwing things. It was actually by accident because I was living in Los Angeles and didn't have a job.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was a flight attendant. Was like, why don't you do this to help pass the time? And I did it, and then loved it because it wasn't a 9-to-5 job. You were in different cities every night. And sometimes it was cities that you didn't necessarily want to go to, especially when you started. But I mean, it just was different. It's a whole different lifestyle. Like you only really work half the month, but when you're working basically 24/7. Even when you're on your overnight, you're technically still working. But I loved it. So
But I
kept
love
doing
that it also wasn't planned. It was just like
No,
you
it
just
wasn't
said
planned.
yes one day.
No, and it's funny how like that's led to
All
all
of this.
So
I know. There's a
knew?
lesson here, everybody.
Yeah,
Just
really.
say yes. Okay, so you're in and you've got the wings.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through your actual work routine? Like, what does a typical day look like? I'm assuming that no day was ever
No
the same.
day was ever the
Yeah.
same. I mean, so it really kind of starts before you even get to the airport because you do have what's called like your pairing or your trip. Flight attendants are on their trips. So like you would see like for the day, you're going to go from, you know, DC to New York to DC to Miami and then overnight and somewhere else.
Okay.
So like you would plan. You have to plan for like when you're not on the plane, what you're going to wear to go get something to eat because you have to find your food on your own. You know, and then like when you get to the airport, you're typically there about an hour before departure. You have to check in. You have a briefing with the crew about where you're going, any possible safety or security concerns, what everyone's jobs are on the plane. You review if there's going to be any unaccompanied minors on the plane or passengers that might need assistance. So everyone's on the same page. This is all before you even get to the gate.
Yeah.
Then
And also, you're not even being paid for until you get the doors are closed,
Good point.
right?
Actually,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
So you start getting paid what they call a per diem, which is usually somewhere nowadays between $2 and $3 an hour. But that's all you're making through this whole process. And at most airlines, except for Delta now, most airlines, even through the whole boarding process, that's all you're getting paid.
Really?
Yeah. So all this happens until the door closes. That's when you finally start making your hourly rate.
I always think about the flight attendants who are like checking all the people who are like, okay, this person would be good in for an emergency. I got to keep my eyes on this one. This one's a hot mess. This one's going to ask for snacks are you guys always like kind of like reviewing everyone
Yes, they peg you as the person who's going to be asking for snacks the whole flight. Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, you get on the plane and you're doing safety checks. You literally have to look at every piece of emergency equipment. You have to check it to make sure it's in working condition in the event you need it, and make sure it's there, because sometimes it's not there. So that all needs to be in place. And yeah, during boarding, you're looking at the passengers that are boarding to see if in the event you needed help restraining somebody or evacuating the plane, who you're going to call on to do that.
That's why I always say hello and look in the eyes.
Well, exactly. Like most flight attendants are saying like, hello, good morning. Some people just don't even pay attention. They just walk right past them.
Oh, well, I know.
And that's someone who clearly you wouldn't be calling on because they can't even say hello to you.
Nope. So, I always chat with them. I was like, good morning. How are you? Yes, I like a Bloody Mary, and I'll see you soon. Okay, let's talk about the hard parts. And I want to keep this away from difficult passengers for a second. What are some struggles you deal with on the job that have nothing to do with the customers?
As much as I said, like I stayed in the job because of the different lifestyle and the schedule is also difficult, especially when you're new. So when you're new, you're basically on call at most airlines. So you never know where you're going. You never know when they're going to call you. When they call you, you have between 2 and 3 hours to get to the airport.
Really?
Yeah, so you kind of have to be ready to go. You can't really do anything. So you're just sitting there waiting. Now, like you can check the computer system and see like what's available. So maybe they'll call you for this. And sometimes you can see where you are on the list. But a lot of flight attendants also don't live where they work.
This is so, and I find this fascinating.
I was living in Phoenix and working out of Los Angeles. So even though when I was on call, like you'd have to be in LA in the event they called you because you can't fly from Phoenix to LA and get to work all within 2 hours. That's definitely hard. And what's really hard too is the time zone changes.
I was gonna say, like, are you just always kind of like, I don't know what day it is, I don't know where I am?
I will say it was easier for me then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I stopped flying 10 years ago. Now I feel the time zone changes more because I am 10 years older than I was when I stopped flying. But like then too, there was a time, only once in my whole career did I wake up in a hotel room and be like, where am I? And I remember opening the curtains to the hotel and looking, and I saw mountains and thinking to myself, where did I go with mountains? And I was in Los Angeles.
All right, I want to get into the physical environment because I think people forget you're actually working in this tube for hours. Talk to us about your workspace and what is it actually like to work on an airplane, a tiny airplane.
I think you get used to it, but like the galley is kind of your kitchen, your office, your home base, your dining room table, and everything. So you kind of, everything works out of there. And since I've stopped flying, they've changed the way the galleys look.
Really?
On like the new Airbus planes, the galley is odd. Like it's half the back, the other half is a bathroom, and the flight attendant jump seat's actually on the bathroom door.
Yes, I have noticed that. Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. I mean, can you imagine like sitting down to eat something while you're working and you have to sit on the bathroom door and get up every time someone has to get in and out?
No.
So I mean, that makes things really difficult. And also like you're on your feet most of the time, checking on people, picking up trash. But later on in life, a lot of crew members develop like hearing issues because you're constantly hearing like the hum and the air of the engines. It is really loud. It is. Yeah. And in fact, when I just flew back from San Diego and I was sitting on the aisle seat and the flight attendant was asking the person at the window what they wanted to drink and they kept saying, I can't hear you, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Because also it's a different noise level from where you're sitting to up there. So I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
There's a lot that happens. Bobby, as always, you have completely ruined and improved air travel for me simultaneously. I always learn something new when I talk to you.
Well, hopefully you'll be a better passenger for it. Gonna take another short break, but don't go anywhere. We still got lots more of the Jet Set to come. Tucked into the Blue Ridge Mountains of southwestern Virginia, Blacksburg is the kind of place that surprises you. Most people know it as a home to Virginia Tech, but there's a whole lot more to this town than game day.
From incredible outdoor adventures and a thriving local food scene to a creative arts community and some of the most beautiful mountain scenery in the entire mid-Atlantic, Blacksburg is earning a spot on travel lists it has never been on before. And today we are going to show you why.
Our first stop in Blacksburg is J.H. Bard's Spirit Company, where they're cultivating community one cocktail at a time.
Our mission from day one is to be part of the community, but also create community. You know, we want people to use our tasting room as a place to meet other people, enjoy our whiskey with friends. We really enjoy reaching out to other small businesses in the area, forming partnerships with them. We offer sodas from Moon Hollow, a local brewery, for people who want a non-alcoholic option, for instance. Really just want this to be a benefit to Blacksburg.
We make our own product, we serve our own product, we don't utilize anybody else's product. So they're getting something locally made, locally owned, locally sourced, handcrafted, and we just like them to have a really unique time and where they can come, enjoy, have a cocktail, hang out with friends, be able to purchase our bottles, as well as just be able to enjoy a good local brand.
Blacksburg is a town full of history and charm, and our next stop puts that on full display.
We're here at the Alexander Black House. This was built in 1897, and Alexander Black was the great-nephew of William Black, founded the town of Blacksburg 100 years before this house was built in 1798. And now, today, the town of Blacksburg owns this house. And Blacksburg Museum and Cultural Foundation operates within this building and handles the programming, art exhibits, things like that. And it's really become a community space. So it's a mix of art and history. You might notice when you tour today, we have a big focus on art downstairs and a few history exhibits upstairs. And I also do bi-monthly 16 Squares tours, so people can come in free of charge and take a tour of the 16 Squares. And I walk around the town and give folks a little background of William Black's 16 Square grid.
From there, we head somewhere that lets the area's natural beauty speak for itself.
This area is called Pandapis Pond, and it's a 500-acre tract. It was owned by Mr. Jim Pandapis, and he had the first electric company in Blacksburg. And so he had this whole property, this whole tract, and he wanted to develop it for a place for his employees of the electric company to have a place to go to exercise or recreate. He built this pond, and then he managed it himself for probably about 30 years. He acquired it around 1948, and when in the 1980s, after managing it for a while, he opened it to the public, and then he transferred it to the Forest Service. So the community here treasures this place.
Next up, we got a taste of the region's award-winning farmers market. It's fresh, local, and definitely worth a visit.
So the Blacksburg Farmers Market started about close to 35 years ago right here in Blacksburg. Farmers obviously are at the heart of our mission in everything that we do. For the last 2 years, our market has been voted as best farmers market in Southwest Virginia by the readers of Virginia Living magazine. We are a producer-only market, and what that means is everything that's sold here at market is either made, produced, or grown within a 50-mile radius. So hyper-local, hyper fresh. So if you're ever in Blacksburg, I highly encourage you to stop by the market where you can get fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, eggs, all baked goods, ice cream, you name it, it's here, leather goods. And I know that I'm being remiss in not mentioning all the products, but there's so much here at our market. And as a community destination place, and people just love to come gather here and just hang out.
But the market is just the beginning. From fish and carne asada tacos with roasted plantains to a local brew paired with braised goat egg rolls and mozzarella bites, the Blacksburg food scene consistently punches above its weight.
I've been making these candles now for 8.5 years. Started in my kitchen over a double broiler method, testing out the ratio of wax to fragrance oil, the temperatures at which you pour and mix at until I came up with my very own method, and that's what our guests do here in the workshop. Your sense of smell is highly connected to your emotions and memories. So our hope here is our candles that you burn in your home become that link to helping you recall your fond moments. I have 3 young children, and the notes they smell from the candles that we burn throughout the year. I'm really big on traditions, especially at the holidays. My hope is they smell those notes, and as adults, maybe they pick them up in their life and they smell it, and it transports them back to childhood and helps them pull on the traditions and special moments.
Whether you're drawn by the craft spirits, the scenery, or the food, Blacksburg has a way of surprising you. It's the kind of place that doesn't just pass the time, it earns it.
We've got to take one final break. We'll be right back with more Jet Set. Don't go anywhere.
I was like, is she talking or is she having a stroke?
Okay, everybody, it's time again for your daily dose of travel inspiration on the go, where today, Bobby Robert, we're sending you to experience Viking's romantic Danube itinerary, which I wish that you would take me on. It's a breathtaking river journey through the heart of Europe. This 8-night sailing takes you along one of the world's most legendary rivers, winding through Budapest, Vienna, and the charming medieval towns of the Wachau Valley. Viking is renowned for destination-focused travel, so every port comes with included shore excursions that put you right in the middle of the culture, the history, and the local flavors. On board, the experience is elegant and understated. I am not understated, with spacious staterooms, regionally inspired cuisine, and sweeping panoramic views from the iconic Aquavit Terrace, our favorite place. This river cruising at its absolute finest. And there's no better way to see Europe than from the water. This journey is available now with free airfare from the US and a $300 onboard credit just for booking by visiting oceanandriversailings.com.
Yep.
This sounds like a wonderful...
Nothing is better than seeing the Parliament House in Budapest at night.
Love
Thank you
it.
for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you on board.
And you sailed by it.